Laney.
Elaine?
Laney.
Laney. Very nice to meet you. What's your name?
Carter.
Carter. Good to see you.
I'm Aiden Philpott.
Aiden.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
I'm Ainsley.
Very nice to see you, Ainsley.
I'm Sadie.
Sadie, pleasure to meet you.
I'm Luke.
Nice to meet you. How you guys doing? Good, good. It's wonderful to be up here. How are the Bobcats doing? Good. I'm sorry I'm running late. We've been dealing with a number of different things, so I do try to get here on time. But you guys excited for your weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, what are you guys doing this weekend? What are you guys doing? Come on. You gonna have fun? Anyone going to the football game tonight? Oh, see, I'll be there. I'll see you up there. I love coming out. Friday night football. It's a lot of fun. Well, it's very nice to see you. I will tell you, it's an honor to be with you. And I have such fond memories when I was growing up. And I remember, when I had a chance to meet someone and, I would think, oh, who is this senator? Who is this famous person? But I got to tell you, I'm in awe of being with you guys because I'm looking around and I see a wonderful classroom. Where's your teacher? Where are your teachers? So how are these kids? They're doing well?
They're amazing.
Yeah? You have any bad apples? Who's a bad apple? Are you a bad apple? You're a bad apple? Oh, he's a bad apple. Oh, my goodness. Well, I want to say it's great to be up here today and celebrate Red Ribbon Week with the Blennerhassett Middle School. And also to see so much of the incredible progress that's underway to keep kids drug-free. Guys, I used to be your state attorney general, and I used to go into the schools and talk a lot about trying to keep kids from going on drugs and talk about the perils of vaping and what would happen. But there's so much going on right now in West Virginia to help prevent kids from doing that. And I just wanted to come to you as a former kid. You might not imagine this, but even as a governor, I was once a kid. And I'm excited because I used to watch a lot of the programs that we used to have many years ago. And then for a long while, they didn't really get continued. But now West Virginia is doing a lot of really good work to fight the substance abuse epidemic. And that's important because that was really hurting our state for a long time. You've probably heard of that, right? But we're doing a little bit better now. Now, here, we're celebrating something we're calling Red Ribbon Week. You guys all know about that, right? And that's a national campaign that's celebrating living drug-free and making healthy choices. That's what life is all about, right? It's an opportunity for students, for families, for communities to come together, and quite frankly, for you to take a stand for a brighter future. Never let anyone push you around. The reality is you get to control a lot of your own future, and you get to make those good, healthy choices. That's a pretty cool thing, don't you think? And you can have a great support network. These wonderful teachers that are around you, your friends, and if you need help from the governor or your delegates, they're here for you as well. Doesn't that sound good? Very, very cool. Now, as you probably know, drugs and fentanyl, they really have hit West Virginia very hard. And I've been fighting against that for a long time. But I think when it comes to combating it, it starts with you guys, our kids. You're our most precious resource. And I want you to know that you're going to have a really bright future. Because when you're done with school and eventually when you want to get a job, one, I'm going to tell you there are going to be jobs available for you. And two, we want to help you along the way to make sure you stay off drugs because drugs are just the wrong direction for you and for everyone. So I'm thrilled to be here and to kick off this week and focus on the kids and also to highlight some of the things we're doing and the progress we're making, not just at Blennerhassett Middle School, but throughout the state of West Virginia. I'm fortunate to be joined here today by a number of people. We have our delegates. We have Westbrook Health Services and its dedicated CEO, Kevin Triplett. Where's Kevin? Kevin, thank you for joining us here today. We have our principal. Where's Matt? Where's Matt? Thank you for inviting us here today. Appreciate it. You guys, you're building the confidence for these young people so they can make healthy choices throughout their lives. And as you guys know, saying no to the drugs isn't just about simply saying no. It's really about trying to help you guys out, connecting you and knowing what a bright future you have. And if you need help along the way, we all have tough days, right? There are people around you, your friends, your family, who are going to step up and make things just a little bit better for you. And we also want to make sure that if you're having challenges at home, look, you have that support network at home, but you also have it here in school. And that's a wonderful opportunity. That's what a lot of these programs are really doing. The prevention that we're talking about not only begins in the classroom, but it goes to every corners of our communities, our churches, our homes, and our neighborhoods. And so you have to remember that you're always going to have someone looking out for you and helping you out. It's a terrific thing. As Attorney General, I spent a lot of time fighting this drug epidemic. We secured some of the highest per capita settlements in the country, and we were working really hard to turn the tide of this deadly drug epidemic. In fact, we were able to work together with the counties, the cities, the legislature to come up with the first of a kind program. It was called the West Virginia First Foundation. And that program's tackling the tough parts of the drug epidemic by focusing on supply, demand, and prevention issues. And prevention is certainly a big part of the reason why we're here today. To date, that group, West Virginia First, has distributed over $100 million. And there's a lot more that's coming. The amount that we have was over $1 billion. Does that sound like a lot of money to you guys? It is a lot of money. And we worked really hard to do it. But it's important that the money gets spent the right way. That's part of the reason I'm thankful to be here today, because some of the resources can get spent on prevention, on behavioral health, which is certainly a wonderful thing. Now, West Virginia is working hard to do a number of good things in the area of prevention. If you look at Red Ribbon Week and many other initiatives, there's a powerful story of what's underway in our schools. And I just want to take a moment and talk about that, because so many of the people are doing great work. We have the West Virginia School Learning Environment Survey from the Department of Education. That's actually showing that substance abuse is down, among a lot of kids your age. It's pretty cool, right? Very, very cool, right? So during the last school year, students reporting alcohol use in the past 30 days dropped from 14% in 2018 to just 4% in 2024. Pretty incredible, right? That's a 10% drop. During that same time period, students reported heavy drinking dropped from 8 to 7%. Marijuana also went down. And there are a number of other things, positive steps we've seen. West Virginia broadly, that a lot of the deaths from substance abuse have been going down, especially the last 4 or 5 months. That's certainly very, very positive. We're here to celebrate that today. We know that Westbrook Health Service reporting that follow-up referrals are decreased by 31% from 2024 to 2025. And I'm anxious to hear about some of the reasons for that. But we know that fewer kids are getting into trouble and reaching crisis level. And I think that's because a lot of the work that's happening with you guys here in the schools, right? So we're trying to make sure you get the tools you need, the relationships, and the skills to not only say no, but to build lifelong, healthy relationships and put you in a position to make positive decisions. And the one thing you're going to know is we're going to have your back. Your governor, I'm going to have your back. And all the people around here, everyone here, all these adults, they care a lot about you. And they want to make sure you're going to have a wonderful career. You're going to be happy. You're going to be healthy. And you're going to be purposeful, right? Does that sound pretty good? Yeah. Well, it's very, very exciting. A lot of programs that we're involved in that work if you invest up front. Programs like Too Good for Drugs, which return a lot of money every time you invest $1, or the ripple effects, where you have lower dropout effect. And then also some of the work we're doing through the West Virginia Bureau of Behavioral Health. And they administer a lot of programs to support families and kids in need. So, a lot going on, but good news on the front to prevent kids from getting hooked by drugs. I also want to take a moment and talk a little bit about vaping. Anyone here ever vape or know anyone who's vaped? Anyone? Do you know anyone who's vaped? You can raise your hands if you know someone who vaped. Did you know anyone who vaped? No? You guys, okay. I know people who vape. You know, when I was attorney general, I used to go out to some of the schools and I would hear about people that would do that. And you know what they didn't know? Boy, sometimes they'd vape and they think it was marijuana or other things. And then what we would realize is that there was some really deadly fentanyl or carfentanil and the stuff that could kill them on the spot. So we've been warning everyone, please don't do that because people think it's safe. Vaping is not safe. Very, very dangerous thing. Well, our Department of Health has a program, West Virginia's Clear Future. And this is a curriculum that's been in the middle schools in 40 of the 55 counties. Pretty good stuff. Now, there's more work that needs to be done, but we're seeing that more and more counties have the personnel to reflect that curriculum and deliver that to kids. And it's an evidence-based program, and we want to make sure kids know about the dangers of vaping. We've seen through some of these programs that the percentage of students who were less likely to vape, 86%. It's pretty good, huh? So, you know, I wanted to come here today just to talk to you. I'm actually anxious to take your questions. Usually at events like this, I take questions from the media, but guess what I'm going to do today? I'm going to take some questions from you. How does that sound? That's a cool thing, right? You get to play Stump the Governor. Isn't that fun? All right. So this is very, very cool, and I'd like to also give folks an opportunity to chat today. I want to turn it over to Allison Browning, who's the Youth Services Division Director of Westbrook Health Services, and she administers a number of the programs. So, Allison, why don't you come up for a moment? Hey, thanks for coming.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be echoing a lot of what our amazing governor said because he's exactly right. And I want to thank you so much for coming and Principal Knoll for hosting it. It is beautiful and we are very grateful for this. And the thing is prevention is a science. And when we use the evidence-based practices like Governor mentioned, we know we can achieve real results. And that's the thing. And he even said it's going to save us money because investing in prevention is not only the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do because every dollar spent in prevention on average can save anywhere from $22 to $26 in future treatment costs, helping individuals different ways, families, and it helps our communities thrive. Substance use prevention goes way beyond teaching our kids the consequences of drug and alcohol. It also is all about building resilience, helping our young people learn healthy ways to deal with the coping for stresses, because that's what Mr. Elms has always taught me and kind of brought that up, is the way we can keep our kids from experimenting with substances is teaching them how to cope with the stress they have every day. And that's one of the things that I think Blennerhassett does wonderfully. Really what we're trying to do is help make positive choices. And prevention's goal is very, very simple, but it's very powerful. We want our youth who thrive in their environments. We want them to have a strong self-esteem, and we want them to grow into productive adults with a strong sense of purpose. When we invest in prevention, we invest in the future, a healthier, stronger, and more hopeful future for everyone. And I want to thank you so much again for taking the time to listen to us. And I'm so grateful that I'm echoing your words and we have the same agreement with prevention. It is awesome.
Thank you so much, Allison. Yes. Appreciate it. She's pretty good, isn't she? What do you think? Oh, this is awesome. Now I'd like to also recognize the principal who is kind enough. Matt, do you want to say a few words? Whatever you want to do. Come on. You're not afraid of crowds, right? You could field questions. What do you think? Should we force him to answer questions too? Yeah.
Our kids haven't said a word. So I know they're going to answer this. It's a great day to be a Bobcat.
Oh, I love it.
There you go. We're just honored to have you here today. We're thankful that we've engaged our student leadership.
Yeah.
We're thankful that the state of West Virginia is considering mental health. It's considering Red Ribbon Week coming up.
Yeah.
And it's an honor just to be involved and represent middle school age children in West Virginia.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
This is wonderful. So now I'm not going to let Matt veer too far away from here, but it really is an honor to be up here. And I will tell you, every day when I go to work in the governor's office, I'm trying to think about how we can make West Virginia an even better place for you, right? Because I want you guys to be thinking there's going to be such an amazing job opportunity for you. and you're going to have people that are healthy. You're going to be in a place to make healthy choices, and you're living in the most beautiful state in the country. That's pretty cool, right? So we're all very fortunate. And what are you today? You are Bobcats. I was trying. You go on. All right. Well, with that, I'm going to do something a little different today. Okay, you ready? This is unscripted, but first I'm going to ask the media if they have any questions, or maybe the media would let you guys. What do you want to let the kids ask the questions first? Is that okay, guys? All right. Who has questions? Remember, it could be. Yeah, I'm going to answer your questions.
What do you think makes West Virginia almost heaven?
Our people shine. We have some of the most wonderful, kind-hearted people in the world, and people have great pride in our state because of the people, the camaraderie, but also the beauty. Right? I mean, wherever you go, West Virginia is unique, and I can answer that question by telling you a little story. How many people here know about the song "Country Roads"? You know, it's fun wherever you travel across the United States or all across the world. You might be in a restaurant and you might start hearing Country Roads, and everyone is singing around. People love it. And people, I think, have good images of West Virginia. That's the kind of memory we want to make sure everyone across the world thinks about. Country Roads. So I think we have incredible people. And when you guys keep making the good choices that you do, and then you grow up and you get opportunities, you're going to be able to pass that torch on to the next generation, right? That's what I try to do as governor today. I'm 57, so I hope I can last a few more years. But you guys have your whole life in front of you, and that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I think our people shine. What's the next question that you have? And tell everyone your name when you ask your question.
I'm Jaden Matthew.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I called on you.
Oh, okay. My name is Avery Dahl. And could you talk about your transition from being West Virginia's Attorney General to leading our state as governor?
That's a great question. So I was very honored to serve as the state attorney general. And if you think about what that is, that's the guy that helps enforce a lot of the laws, right? That's what you do. Well, as governor, you do a bit of that as well, but you're also trying to make sure you're in charge of the executive branch of state government, about 25,000 people. That's a lot of folks, right? And so there's a lot to do. When you're the attorney general, you're working on all the laws, right? The rules, making sure people aren't breaking the rules. Well, while you do that quite a bit as governor, you're also working on all the financial issues, the budget issues, all the policy issues. So I would say that the biggest difference is there's a lot more work to do as the governor. I mean, the attorney general's office is a great and very important office. As governor, there are a lot of challenges that the governor has to be on top of every day, and so it's just you need an even bigger team of people, and we do have that. We have wonderful people. You have to have good folks around you. So I would just say, if in the AG's office you get to work on 5 or 6 big things every day, as the governor, your office is touching hundreds of issues every day. So there's a lot going on. Great question. Who's next? And what's your name?
I'm Addison Knoll, and what did your middle school do to encourage your mental health, and what do you think they could have improved?
What can the middle school do?
Yeah, like to improve, like what did your middle school do to encourage you to work for mental health, and what do you think they could improve?
What did my middle school do? Boy, I barely remember my middle school. That was a long, long time ago. But I will say this, back in the day when I was your age, I remember we used to have things like the DARE program. Some of the people might remember that. And there was a lot of focus about drugs and alcohol. Not as big as focus back then, but then a lot of it really exploded, probably even after I got out of school, that start to really rise and rise. And I think the biggest change has been that we're now getting into the schools in a way that probably we didn't 40 years ago, right? 50 years ago, that there's more attention to educate people earlier. Because if you know about the problems of drugs early on, you're not going to try that nonsense, right? Why would you do something that knowingly hurts yourself? No, of course not. But you have to know about it, right? and educate yourself. I'd say that's the biggest thing, that there's more education at a younger level from back when I was growing up. But that's part of the reason I come here today, so people know that vaping and all those drugs are hugely problematic. And we found that once people learned a little bit about it, that they learned how dangerous the vaping was, that it had stuff that you had no idea. Like, you wouldn't put stuff in your body that could hurt you. And when people learn that, they're less likely to do it. So I think that matters. A lot of it's just more education. Any more questions from? Wow, I'll tell you what, you guys got a lot of questions. What's your name?
I'm Gwen Silvis. How can your administration make schools a safer place for students and staff?
Okay, so that's a great question, and we need to make schools as safe as possible. We know that there are a number of bills that the legislature have passed in recent years to try to improve the safety of schools. I know that there's been more money that we've been putting in, working with the legislature to harden up the schools. So there's opportunity for more school safety officers, and there's more training in case some act of violence arises that can be dealt with. I believe I was up in Wood County, and wasn't I, when we were talking about the new programs, the training that was being done for some of the deputy sheriffs to be trained with school safety issues. So I know that came out of the legislature, Bob. And am I right? I think there was some good programs that we're working on. So part of it is working on a lot of good ideas to make sure that there are good people around you here, and there are opportunities for you to know what would happen in the event of something bad, and then know that there are people you can turn to. Part of it too is, over time, the nature of the schools, how people come in and out may change. But I would say there are a number of programs that people are working on that over time will help protect kids even more. West Virginia's been fortunate. It's not been hit the way some of the other states have been hit with the level of gun-related violence in the schools. But we have to make sure that we prevent all deaths, because one death is inappropriate, right? So, but I would say there's probably always more that we can do. But I know the legislature and my office are working on more ideas. One more question before I go to the media. And what's your name?
I'm Kate, and in Florida.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name?
Kate.
Kate. Great.
In Florida and California, they have altered their start times for secondary students to better meet and develop their mental needs. Would that be something you would consider?
To alter the start time? Yeah. It's interesting you say that. I hadn't really heard of that, but I'm open for all ideas. But I haven't seen any evidence. One of the things I try to do as your governor, and I'm sure the legislature looks at this as well, before you make change, you don't do it unless you have evidence that it's going to lead to better things, right? So, for example, I'm going to give you something the legislature did this year that I called for in my State of the State. And I may be hurting myself right now. This may not be popular, but you guys don't have access to your cell phone in your classes now, right? You don't. And you know why? Before I came in and became governor, I was talking to some of the other governors, and they were showing me some of the evidence that showed that when kids aren't on cell phones during the class time, you are more focused on learning. Makes a lot of sense, right? So when it comes to things like that, like changing the time that you start school, to me, it's about, will that actually help people? Will make it easier for kids to learn? That's how I would think about the issue. So I haven't had anyone ever show me that makes a difference. I'm always open-minded for things that do make a difference, but hope that helps a little bit. All right, well, now I'm going to give the media a chance. You guys have been pretty tough on me, so now it's going to be easy. Turn it over to the media. You guys, WTAP, News and Sentinel, any questions? The kids are pretty tough, aren't they? You guys good? All right. There you go. They're hiring, right? See, lots of new, good-paying jobs here in West Virginia. You guys, are you excited to get out of school today for your weekend?
Yes.
Well, I don't want to keep you any longer, but I want to say thank you. You guys have been great, and I hope to see you again. And just know, if you're ever in Charleston, stop on by. I work for you. You may think I have this big title, but I work for the people of the state, and I work for you, okay? So if you need anything, you let us know. Does that sound like a deal? All right. Well, guys, Great to see you. Let me come into your class, and I hope to see you again. Thank you. See, buddy. You had fun?